So the April Fool's video about all the UCs going to fall 2020 online, yes, that was a joke. However, the UC system did make a lot of changes about students that are going to be applying in fall of 2020 for admission to UC schools in fall of 2021. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to go over what changes the pandemic has caused within the UC and CSU system, both for students applying in 2021 and students that have gotten their acceptances for this year, fall 2020. The UC system made a lot of changes, including changes to fall 2021, and they made some changes around this year's acceptances. That would be anyone who applied this previous fall and has been recently accepted to any of the UC schools. So that's what this video is. I don't really have a thing where I'm like, let's jump into this or whatever, so we're gonna go. So for students that applied fall 2019 and that got recently accepted for fall 2020, the big thing is that if your transcripts aren't ready by the end of graduation, that's okay. They'll be accepting transcripts all the way up to the first day of instruction for fall from all students and campuses. The other thing that they changed is that letter grades aren't required. They are going to take stuff pass, no pass. So if your school is switching your grading system to pass, no pass, that's going to be accepted regardless of any of the prerequisites that they used to have. And this applies to transfers as well. They're going to loosen up the number of units that you are allowed to have as pass, no pass, and that's going to be opened up. And this is only going to count though for classes taken from winter 2020, spring 2020, and summer of 2020. So anything from January till now, and then through summer, that will all be allowed to be taken, pass, no pass, and still clear those prerequisites. So this one applies to everyone, both students that got recently admitted and students that are going to be applying in the fall for next year. So all classes that are taken between winter 2020 and the summer of 2020, the UC and CSUs are not going to be having a letter grade requirement for those A through G required classes. The UC system and CSU system have a list of required classes. You can find that on their websites. But for those required classes, there is usually a letter grade requirement, no more, at least not for this period of time. So that doesn't mean you should fail your classes. That just means that they're mostly looking if you passed them. They're not going to see if you had a certain GPA in them. So the big one for students that are going to be applying in fall of 2021 is that standardized testing has been thrown out the window for you guys. Lucky, lucky, lucky. So currently the UC system only has approved this. So if you're applying to CSU, you most likely will still need to take an SAT or ACT. That may come to change. They're evaluating it right now. But what this means is that you don't need to pay for tests, you don't need to go to testing centers, and a lot of those tests have already been canceled, postponed, and trying to figure out logistically how to get people to take an ACT or an SAT in a crowded classroom, it just isn't conceivable. The UC Academic Senate still does recommend that if you can take it or you have a result, to just submit it, but they're also telling their campuses not to factor in whether or not you have a score or not. You don't have to take it, it won't be judged or factored into your admission to a UC school. I don't have any other complaints. I mean, that's pretty great. I wish I had that opportunity. So the other big thing is AP tests. Now, a lot of you were in AP classes all the way through your spring quarter or spring semester or winter quarter, and all of a sudden you're like told that you're taking a 45-minute free response test in lieu of the standard 3-hour proctored exam that you do in a classroom, which is crazy and also a very unique situation. Well, here's the thing. If you score a 3 or 4 or 5 on that exam, the UC system has said that they will still accept those for credit for the courses that they apply AP credit towards. So if you're taking Calculus AB and you pass with a 4 or 5, the UC system will still give you those 4 units of credit that they usually do. And that's as of today, April 2nd, 2020. They might change that in the future if they're finding something else, but it's happened in the past when there's been emergencies like that in communities. Colleges will accept a shorter version of the AP exam as sufficient college credit. And that's kind of all I've got. So the UC put out these new guidelines over the past week, and I thought I'd share it with you because a lot of you come to this channel looking about UC Davis content, but also I know a lot of you are also looking at applying to different schools or have already been accepted to some of these other UCs. So here's all the information I got. I hope everyone's staying safe, and as always, don't forget to be awesome.